everybody. How y'all doing today? I hope you guys are doing amazing. Welcome back to another live. Welcome back to another live. And y'all know I like to always start off right off the dome. How I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, what I'm going through, what's the real? What's the real? Like what's really going on in my head? What's really going on out here for us hoopers? What's really going on out here for us individuals in our beautiful, beautiful process of life? A lot of times I like to talk about, I try to relate everything towards basketball because, of course, this is a basketball page, content, hub of everything you need to learn and understand. And I don't even like to just come on and just say, oh, I'm here to teach you. Because I'm not here to teach you anything. I'm just here to express what I believe is going on in my life and what has went on in my life. And if you are able to draw from that and learn something from me from that, then I know my job on this planet, on this earth, was done right. There's a lot of things that goes on in for each and every one of us. Like for instance, for me, in this podcast and this network that I'm building, it's such a it's such a process. It's such a process because I'm constantly trying to move and figure out and do everything on my own. I wouldn't say on my own because I got friends and I got mentors, the people that I paid to follow and watch and I learn from them. So I don't ever want to say you're doing it alone because you still go on YouTube, you still go on Instagram, you still go on TikTok, and you still have people give you back information. So I never want to discredit the people that has shown me love along the way in my journey. However, creating this network, you guys get to see and understand just me transforming myself by creating something other than basketball. But it all stems from that. I mean, everything stemmed from me playing basketball. All my life experiences, this whole network is all, of course, it's about basketball. That's the core concept. But just it's just the lessons that were learned along the way. It's what brought me here today. It's probably what brought you here today. Because no one is going to be the one that's going to force you to be and listen and tune in and hear. You might listen to me for this 2-3 minutes and be like, I'm done. This dude don't know what he's talking about. You're supposed to be talking about breaking free. That's not the title of the topic. That's not what it is. You need to do something different. Well, guess what? I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. I am in a process of just learning and growing in life, as we all are. We are all learning and growing in life and trying to go at our own pace, and we're trying to move and get things done at our own pace. And there's a lot of in between factors that just seem to that just want to stop you from being your greatest self and stop you from being able to achieve what it is that you're trying to achieve. And I'm here to tell you, don't let that discredit you. Don't let that get you down. Don't let that deter you from the vision that God has put in you. And I love to say this all the time. It's like, I'm not even speaking to you. I'm speaking to myself. A lot of times, the things that come out of my mouth be words and things that are meant for me to understand for myself. Hey, remember, the harder the journey gets in life, the closer you are. So when you get to that point where you feel like things are not going right, where you feel like things are getting a little harder than normal, things are not happening fast enough as I want them to happen, just continue to press on because you're a lot closer than you think. You're right there to break through. You're right there to fight and get to exactly where it is that you say that you want to get to, but it ain't gonna happen without a fight. It's not gonna happen without a fight. And the biggest fight that we fight the most is the mental battle. It's the fighting the thoughts in the mind that controls our every actions that we do every day. How we move, how we speak. determines everything. Our mindset on what we do, how we approach it. And I am constantly forcing my daughter to understand this. And yes, I am forcing because I am a father, and I will force her to understand just the concept, and not in a forceful way, but I'm preaching to her every single day that the biggest and the most important thing that you must understand and come to cultivate is your mind. It is the thing that will ultimately dictate your very existence. It's your mindset. It's how you choose to go about this life. It's how you choose to create everything that you want, don't want, and everything that is to happen. It is the energy of the mind that you have. And how is that? What affects that? How is all that even processed and you are able to even create what you see, or how things are going to happen, or how things happen in my life based on my mindset? I truly believe. And I got, of course, maybe I've gotten the concept from the information of the people that I follow, or the books that I've read, or just the connecting spirit feeling that I have, that I know that's in me when I hear it. When you hear truth, when you hear things in your life that you know, it resonates with you. It changes your DNA. It's like you hear a word and it changes your DNA, because it changes the most important thing. It planted the seed in your mind, a seed of change, a word. It just plants a seed of change in your life that makes you move a different way. And I suppose that's what I'm doing here, is I'm just here to plant a seed. Plant a seed of growth. Plant a seed of prosperity. Plant a seed of fire and desire in your life. That's a part of my role. That's just what makes me who I am. And I always have a topic, but then most of the times I always come off impromptu and just speak from the heart, from exactly what I'm feeling, exactly the processes of my mind and the shifts that's happening in my mind, because I can't help it. There's so much flowing that I think about all the time that I just want to express, that I'm always constantly trying to express and understand and dive deeper and dig deeper, and fighting fighting the old thoughts and beliefs in my mind, and able to get to where I chose, or I want to be in my life. I'm always going through that process. For instance, I shot a whole video. I was feeling great. It was on Labor Day. It was on Monday. Shot a video, shot a live. Great live. Sometimes I get on here and it's just a great even ebb flow, and I'm really fired up about the topic that I'm talking about. I'm really into it. I'm really like just nailing it home, piece by piece. And you know what happened? Internet went out. And you know what happened? The live got deleted. I was probably like a good 35, 40 minutes in. Just the whole process of it all happened. And it just made me doubt. And I wouldn't say doubt. It just made me discouraged. I became discouraged. I became flustered. I became a little erratic in the way that I was thinking, because all of the past things and all of the negativity that's associated with something like that happening starts to pour on, starts to creep into the mind. The doubt starts to creep in. Well, I've been doing this for 3 years right now. I'm not seeing nothing from it. Why do I keep doing this? I ain't got no help. I ain't got no team. The internet's bad. I did all this work. I did this setup. I ain't got fresh. I was fresh, y'all. I got fresh. I was in my new gear. I just made some new gear. By the way, y'all know we only rock bold claims here. I had just made some new gear. I was feeling good. I was like, yes, this is the process. This is the time. I'm feeling good. I'm flowing. And then boom, deleted. And that's just like how life is. You work so hard. You be thinking you're doing so good. Everything is flowing. Everything is smooth. It's right. Like everything's going just right. And then all of a sudden, everything that you've done and been working on gets taken away like that. In a blink of an eye, everything that you work on, everything that you're doing, all the processes that it took you to get to what you're trying to do disappears. And then you have to start over. That's just one incident. But how many of us in our life have been through situations like that where it's like I work so hard, I grind so hard, I put in so much effort, I've done all I can do, I'm getting up, I'm going hard, I'm doing everything as I'm supposed to do, and you still fail. And you still fail. And things still don't turn out right. It's the thoughts that you think next. It's the actions that you take next. It's the things in your brain that you choose to accept next. Is what ultimately dictates your life. I worked all that time for that episode, that project, and it just disappeared. I had to start over. And I'll bring up an example. So y'all know, if y'all watch this, if you watch this podcast, this network, if you've been on this network long enough, you ran into Big Deuce. Everybody knows Big Deuce. Big Deuce is my best friend. Rashad Hassan, follow him on all platforms. Tap Athletics. Tap Athletics. He's got his YouTube channel, and he has an Instagram at Tap Athletics. Follow my boy Big Deuce. He's been doing social media for about 7 years. About 7 years. I've been at it at 3. He's been doing it for 7 years. He's been working on his TikTok for whenever TikTok came out. He's been working on it for years. I know about 4 or 5 years. Maybe I think it's right when COVID happened. Right after COVID. He's definitely been working on his social media. He just told me yesterday that his TikTok just got banned. Like they blocked his TikTok or whatever it may be. And I'm just like, he had probably like 70,000 followers, 60,000 followers, something like that. And he's been working, like he's just as I. That's one thing. Iron sharpens iron. It's always great to have a friend, an acquaintance, someone with just on the same mental bandwidth as you, with the same energy as you, with the same fire as you, doing the same thing, because then you guys can get further because you're working together. Even if it's on different projects, the mindset is in the same lane. You're working for the same goal. You can help each other out in the same aspect. And that's what me and him have been doing since we were in college together. Me and him we met in 2008. It's 2025. That's 17 years later. We have been best of friends. We don't even call it best of friends. We're brothers. We're family. We're past that. When you spend 17-year relationship with someone, you're family. At least me and him are. Anyways, he got his TikTok banned. Just out of the blue. He posts basketball content. Funny basketball content that's catered towards the youth. That's catered towards just basketball in general. I specifically focus more on the concept of mental preparation, not just for professional basketball, but for your life. Because if you can't get your mind right, you can't get your game right. If you can't get your game right, you can't get a contract. You can't get a contract, you will never be able to play this game. You can't get a contract and keep a contract, you'll never be able to play this game. If you cannot understand that part, then this life is not for you. Because This starts with the mindset of everything that you have to do in order to sustain the run long enough to benefit and extract all that is given. I live the life of a professional athlete. Now, I can break that down into so many different aspects, and people think, oh, you play basketball, so you don't work, and you're in your off season, and you're just chilling. Yes, but I worked up to that. There was moments in my life where I came home and I didn't work. I didn't do anything extra for money. I didn't do anything different. I just spent my money, trained, went back and played. There was no overarching goal to achieve something bigger and greater. It was just basketball at the time. And if I didn't have some type of shift in my life, I would still be thinking that way, and I would still be continuously to move that way, which is not beneficial for me in the long run, because all I did was trick through all that money. I tricked through all of that money. And then it wasn't until I decided to switch and change my lifestyle, change my mindset, and understand what is really required of me in life to actually make a difference, not only first in my life, because you can't help nobody without helping yourself. You can't do nothing for nobody without doing for yourself. And I had to get right with myself and understand that, you know what, this life and journey that I'm on, I have to be the one that not control, but dictate the way it goes by the way I think. Do you know if you are thinking the right thoughts? Here's a little exercise. Ask yourself, what am I thinking of right now? Does this ultimately help me get to where I'm going, or does it not? You have to literally take inventory of the thoughts that pass through your head and literally have a cleaning out process of the thoughts that don't fit you and suit you, and start to prune them out of your life and out of your mind, because they are going to show up and they're going to be the loudest in your head when things don't go according to plan. As I was saying about Big Deuce, he decided, or he was working on TikTok and had his account and it just got banned. And you bring in, he has to, he goes through, I know Deuce, and I know this is what I mean by like setback. I know he's going to fight through it. I know he's going to just have to start over, crank back up, and keep it pushing. Because, you know, the funny thing about it, life don't care. It doesn't care that you've been working for 7 years on this profile. It doesn't care that you haven't reached to where you want to reach. It doesn't care how hard you have to work to get back. It doesn't care. Things are going to happen outside of your control that you cannot control, but the only thing that you control is the thoughts that you have inside your head. Your perspective on what is happening and what you do next. How you handle situations. What are the situations that you want to achieve? What is the goal that you've set for yourself? And then setback comes, what do you do to quiet the noise and keep pushing? Because when things so major and so drastic happens, it's only a testing of your faith to understand, is this what you really want? Is this really what you desire? Is this the thing that you say that you are striving for? Is this the life that you say you want? Because if so, I'm going to test you on it. I'm going to see how much are you willing to work for the thing that you say that you ultimately want, for the freedom of the life that you say that you want in your life. What are you willing to do to obtain it? When I hear life speaking, this is how I hear it in my head. What are you willing to do for the life that you say that you want? How hard are you going to work? What are you going to give up? What are you going to do? What are you going to learn? Who are you going to follow? What time are you getting up? What are you eating? Who are you listening to? What's your purpose? What's your strategy? What's your blueprint? These are the things that just goes on in my head. Respectfully, of course. These are just what goes on in my head. And these are the thoughts that I go through, and I know that he's going through that process, and I use him for the example is because it shows you no one is above a setback in life. Look at the guy look at the guy that was going viral on the internet for getting caught up with his side piece, his apprentice. Oh, I don't know what you call that, intern, or the lady that worked for him. Got caught up, jumbotron, married man, got caught up for the world to see. Setback. No one is too big for a setback in life. Don't ever think that whatever issue that you have in life is, I wouldn't say bigger than someone else's issue. We just all have our challenges that we must achieve and go through. We all have our own challenges. To some, that's nothing. To others, it's a big deal. Like, for example, you have a goal of reaching $1,000 in your savings account. To some, that's nothing. To some, that's impossible. Where you are at in your life and in your mindset based on the thoughts of how you look at that challenge. How you look at the challenge really dictates the outcome. Because the only separating, the only difference is how you think. I could look at this as this is something that I am going to do. This is something that I am going to achieve. I am going to get myself to $1,000 in my account, saving. I don't care what it takes. I don't care what I got to do. I don't care how long it takes. I know this is what I want to do, and this is what I am going to give it all to obtain. That's just a thought. That's just a mindset that you have. That's just what you decide. That's just your perspective of what you decide you wanted to think. That's the separator. That's the separator. The setbacks in life are going to come. But how you look at it, because there's another person saying, I can never get to that. I got too much bill. I got too much things that's going on. I got my car is down. I got too much other bills. I'm in debt. There's always an excuse. No matter what, there's always going to be an excuse because you choose to have that excuse. As long as you accept the excuse in your mind, there will always be one. As long as you accept the excuse in your mind, it'll always be one. As long as you accept the excuse in your mind, there will always be one. And it's the same thing in reverse. As long as you accept, nothing will hold me back. Nothing will stop me. Nothing will get in my way from achieving whatever goal I have put in my vision, in my eyesight, in front of me. I don't care. My mom says this. She always says, God wouldn't give you the vision without provision. He wouldn't give you the vision without the provision to be able to do it. He wouldn't give you a sight of something in your head that you want to achieve without some way of getting that. And it's not always, we just believe that because I want something, it should happen right away. And because I told God I want it, it's supposed to happen. When I say it's supposed to happen. and how I want it to happen. That's the biggest. That's the thing that we. Let me not talk about nobody else. That's the thing that I realized how I used to think would affected me a lot is I used to always want to know how. How am I going to do this? What am I going to do? How is that going to happen? How is that possible? You know? And I guess that was actually one of the greatest things that could be for me because I asked the question. Once you get the question, you get the answers. It says, how many times are you asking that question to yourself? How important is that question to you to achieve what it is that you say that you want to achieve? You got the vision. Sometimes you'd be like, yo, you got to go to this mountaintop. Do you know what it takes to get to the mountain? You see the mountain. You see the glory. You see the glory. You see what's at top. You see what's waiting for you. But you don't understand the route it takes to get there. The route it takes to get there. You could follow every person of influence in this world. You can follow all of the gurus, motivational speakers, whatever. None of them can walk your road for you. Nobody can walk your road for you. Nobody can go through your struggle together. Nobody can achieve the sensation and feeling of accomplishment for a goal you set out for yourself like you can. Setbacks happen in life all the time. Happened with my video. It happened with my boy. These are just close case examples because these are the closest people to me. These are the things that I see on a day-to-day basis, and I know that affects him because, boy, if something happened to my social, I would be devastated. How many of us is just working on something and all of a sudden it just goes up in flames? You would be devastated. You would be sick to your stomach. I know he's sick. I know he's sick. I know he blowed because I'm blowed for him. Because I know the process of, I know how long it took him. I know how much he's worked hard. That is a hard working person. Shout out to Big Deuce. That is a hard working individual. You hear me? And if you don't keep people like that around you, you got to keep people around you that inspire you. You got to keep people around you that inspire you. And it's not because they are, Jason Tatum or Kyrie Irving. Shout out to Kyrie. He dropped a lot of gems, But you're not next to them. You're not next to them. You're not feeling their energy. You're not hearing their word. You're not next to them for them to affect you. Your environment, the people you keep around you. Me particularly, I only keep I don't have a lot of friends. I talk about the same ones. And they're all on the same trajectory, or they're all on the same path that is similar to mine, or very, very close similar, because I'm just laser focused on life. Does that mean I'm doing everything right? Absolutely the hell not. Absolutely not. But it is in the journey. It's in the walk. It's in the failing. It's in the losing money. It's in the waiting. It's in the wondering. It's the walk that we all must walk for ourselves. I know my issues that I have to work on. Everybody knows what they have to give up before they give it up. Deep down, you know the exact same things that are holding you back. Just got a revelation of something that I used to always say, It didn't even stem from me, but I know it stands true. It's like you have to, in order to go to another level, you have to let go. You have to literally let go of some things. In order to get to another level, You have to let go of some things. Every step I felt that I made in the next level of my life is because I stopped doing some other things. I stopped doing things that were counterproductive to where I wanted to go. I stopped doing things and locked in and focused on the objective that I set out for myself. So, trials, tribulations, setbacks are going to happen. They're going to happen. They're a part of life. They're life's hidden gifts. The challenges are life's hidden gifts. It's only if we learn from them, though. It's only if we accept them as challenges. It's only if we're aware of what's really going on. I go back to like when I had said about my last team that I was in Argentina. It was such a mentally stressful situation for me, and I had the opportunity to leave that position, go somewhere else, find a new job, and just be done with it. But I understood this is one of life's challenges right now. This is one of life's challenges right now, and it's trying to teach me something, and it's trying to give me something, but it's if I'm willing to accept it. It's trying to teach me something here, but only if I'm willing to accept it. Only if I'm willing to accept this situation as a challenge, as something to overcome, as something that will ultimately strengthen my will at the core. It will ultimately give me the dopamine hit of accomplishment, the accomplishment of doing something that was very difficult for me, something I could have walked away from, the accepting of the challenge. And we all have our challenges. We all have situations that are difficult for us, but it's in the mind. It's the perspective that we have. I chose to say, you know what? I see what's going on. And nothing is going to stop me or hinder me from completing this objective. For me, the objective was, it was crazy. More so than even winning a championship. The objective for me was to make the most out of the situation that I was in. Make the most of it. Like really become stronger than the situation that I was in. And it had nothing to do with anything physical. It didn't have anything to do with money-wise. It was a complete mental battle. I had to tell myself, hey, I accept this fight. I accept this fight. I accept this war of the mind that I have right now. I accept it. There's going to be a lot of miniature battles along the way, and I lost some of those, and I will continue to lose some of those. But overall, I'm going to win, because my mind is telling me the words that I hear more than anything is, I'm going to win. I'm going to win. And there is nothing that is going to stop me from winning. All you're doing is winning the mental battle. That's the fight. The mental battle of your mind. You have to snap the chains. You have to break free from the negativity, from the thoughts that don't serve you. Is it difficult? Yes, it is. For all of us. But we have to learn to break free from that. Not just because, oh, I'm listening to some guy on YouTube, he's telling me that he knows my problems. I don't. You're not going through what I'm going through. I'm not. All I know is I am just a man on a journey walking down a path that's led by the thoughts that I think on a day-to-day basis. I am just a man, a spirit, a being that's loving, kind, prosperous, who just wants to share his experience with any and everyone that comes along my path. I just want to be a man that is subservient to the God that is within me and to achieve everything that has been laid out in front of me. This is just the hidden emotions that burn deep within my soul, that I understand that, you know what, things do go bad. Yes, they do. But as long as I keep fighting, as long as I keep pushing through everything that, as long as I just keep pushing for everything that I want, ultimately I will achieve them through the failures, through the downtimes, through losing your account, through losing some money, through losing a boyfriend, through losing husbands, through losing family members. And I speak of this because I've been through that. Lost my father, lost my grandma, got divorced, all kinds of things. Being cut, stranded, deported, jailed in a different country. Another story for another time. We all have our challenges, and the main thing, which is the main thing, is breaking free from the thoughts that hinder us from continuing on. I already had this one setback, man. I ain't doing that no more. I'm finna just go ahead and lay back and sit in the cut and don't make any more goals for me, because I made a goal. I got so close. I was progressing. Things started going good, and then bang, everything come crumbling down. Everything come crumbling down, which reminds me specifically of a book that I read. I think it was like Market Wizards, because I do trade and invest. And I speak about that a lot, trading and investing. I talk about that a lot. And that's just a path for me in life. And I'm reading a book on it. And I remember one of the stories about a man who had made a lot of money trading. He made a lot of money, like maybe over a couple million, maybe. Or maybe it was just newer. Let's just say he made a couple million. You know, lost it all. Lost it all. If you trade, whew, I felt that in my heart. Whew. If you trade, if that is what you've decided to do in your life and accept in your life, understand that is a path in itself. That is a path in itself, because once you understand what it feels like to lose money that fast, that rapidly, at that rate, it does something to your soul. It does something to your soul. And to be willing to come back from that and say, you know what? This was made for me. This is the thing that will set me free. This is the thing that I will use to not only enhance my family's life, but to ultimately enhance my life and enhance me, enhance my spirit, enhance my brain. Because if you don't trade, you don't know what you don't get where I'm coming from. But if you do, you understand there's so much that goes into it. And I thank God that I found trading, and I took the decision to really hone in and lock in on this craft, because the charts don't show you patterns. I heard a person say this. Shout out to him. He said, the charts don't show you patterns and numbers and things like that. It's a reflection of who you are. It's a reflection of who you are. If you're impatient, if you have anger issues, if you have fear, If you hope too much on the wrong thing, it's literally a reflection of who you are. It's a reflection of who you are. And that hit home with me, you know? But to fight back after losing millions, it's just a setback. It's just life. Sometimes you feel I made it and then you lose it all. But you have to regroup, get back up on your horse, and keep going. And keep going. Because the setbacks, they're inevitable. They're a part of life. If we look to learn if we look to accept the challenges, and the setbacks is life, as many, how y'all girls do that thing, like when you remember something and you, period. Period. I feel like that's the funniest thing I've ever seen. I don't know why so many people are doing that. But this thought just came into my head. It's like your success of what you want in your life, the challenges, the negative thoughts, all that. Once you achieve all those, it's like the rainbow, the gold at the end of the rainbow. You don't wait till you get there. It's all the little decisions. It's all the words that you put into your brain when the negative things are happening. Those are the gems that you pick up along the way to the end of the rainbow. You collect your coins along the way. You collect your gold along the way. The gold is the thoughts. It's the process that you accept in your mind. It's the challenges you overcome because you've accepted that in your mind. You've accepted, I'm going to overcome that. That's a gold gem that I can put into my bag to always come back and remember, to look at and say, you know what? I remember that time. So when I get to the next one, I'm getting that gem. I'm getting that piece of gold. Because I looked at all the ones I already got. I know where I'm going. I know where I'm going. I'm collecting my gold gems along the way. I'm collecting my coins along the way. Not waiting for nobody. I choose that. I decide that by the way I think, by the thoughts I choose to entertain, by the processes of life that I accept. Pick up your gold pieces along the way. Keep fighting for what it is that you want. Break free from the negative thoughts and people and situations that don't fit you and don't belong there. That don't belong there. Break free. Listen, man, I appreciate you guys tapping in with me. This is just me along the journey. I'm glad you guys decided to join in, tap in with me. If you know anybody that this message may help, I appreciate it. I thank you. Share it with them. And I'll see you guys next time. I'm out.